Gable and the Embry brothers were backstage. They're going to make sure Masked Gable wins via a cinnamon whiskey branded ladder.
Well, that's not Mass Gable. That is actually a different person. I mean, after the Slim Jim table, go ahead, sponsor everything.
I mean, it was mildly entertaining with the girls' match on TV, but this is the men's ladder match.
This is serious now.
It looked like she was crying, writhing around in pain on the mat.
She may well have been, but I would say their last match was better than this one. Yeah, Becky Lynch pins Lyra Valkyria, the same Lyra Valkyria that kicked out of a super manhandle slam from the second rope. But that roll up was too much for her.
Reaches up for the briefcase and Fatu grabs Solo's ankle. Solo can't quite get the briefcase. Fatu looks up and goes, "I hate you!"
You know, we need to get some sponsors around here. I can wear like a sponsored hat, put sponsors on each segment. You can even have my name. Now I've given WWE an idea. They're going to start sponsoring the freaking wrestlers' names. Seth State Farm Rollins.
They do that with the moves. It's the State Farm driver.
Yeah. He's lining up for the Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15 minutes or more.
Let's go ahead and move on to Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Inglewood, California. Walkers are Cody and Jay. Then we had Logan Paul, Seth's husband. We had Liv Morgan and Dominic, Rollins' group, Alexa Bliss, who was trying her damnedest to look very serious. You had LA Knight, who was not selling Friday's Attack one bit. He was even smiling. I think he did the finger guns to somebody. Then you have Ripley not wearing any makeup. And then there was a hype video, which was a proper hype video. Cena's ruining wrestling, Money in the Bank match, Seth's husband's challenging for the belt for the last time. It's a lot better than what we've been getting. Then we had the girls' ladder match. Naomi won somehow.
You know what? I have to let it kind of stay at that because I came in towards the end of it, so I can't really give you a breakdown there. Naomi won, indeed.
There you go. Let me get a Worlds Collide highlight. Dominic challenged, at this point, some dude, I didn't know who it was, for his title. He made the challenge for his title belt. And then we had a Gunther and Jey Uso hype video. It's like the fourth or fifth time they've done this, so I'm still not excited for it. And then we had Dominic versus Octagon Jr. for the Intercontinental title. At first, I thought this was Kalisto, because I believe he went by Octagon Jr. as well. So I had all this thing like, oh, Kalisto, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it's some other dude. So it was like the first half of the match. Dominic won with a frog splash with Liv Morgan's help. I went back and watched it. It was actually really good. Dominic could be something when they decide to book him like a man instead of, a cuck.
Yes, they do need to book him like a man. He's too busy, posting pictures of like Roxanne Perez on social media or liking her stuff. Now, all of a sudden, he's got his eye on Mariah May or whatever her name is in WWE. He posted a picture of her and he was like, hear me out. So that's his next target, I guess.
I read something that her name was Mariah June. Please tell me that's bullshit.
That's just someone being funny.
Okay.
Because, May.
Yeah, it's something that they would do. That's why I didn't immediately discredit it.
I've seen a couple things going around. So there's that. I also saw Mariah April, Mariah Saints, because apparently the white blonde-haired Mariah May is going to be the on-screen character to Ricky Saints. So says the news. Actually, I don't know what he is. I think he's black. I don't know. Go figure that one out.
Yeah, so I was expecting Dominic just to get his ass kicked and like get a lucky move or something, but no. He actually put up a little bit of a fight. Now, to be fair, Octagon Jr. was not a large man at all. But yeah, they need to book him better.
Yeah. I mean, he's becoming a pretty good wrestler in himself. Probably trains his ass off with his dad.
I wouldn't be surprised. He seems to take the history and shit very seriously.
Yeah.
At least the lucha aspect of it. Gable and the Embry brothers were backstage. They're going to make sure Masked Gable wins via a cinnamon whiskey branded ladder.
Well, that's not Masked Gable. That is actually a different person, El Grande Americano. And yes,
I think you're focusing on the wrong part of this.
What? We got another sponsored thing? I mean, after the Slim Jim table, go ahead, sponsor everything.
I mean, it was mildly entertaining with the girls' match on TV, but this is the men's ladder match.
This is serious now.
Speaking of which, we had the other girls' match. Seth's husband won via roll-up and a handful of tights. And then made ugly NXT chick raise her hand twice, then put the belt around her waist. That didn't sit well with the ugly NXT chick. She dropped Seth's husband. And it looked like she was crying, writhing around in pain on the mat.
She may well have been, but I would say their last match was better than this one. Yeah, Becky Lynch pins Lyra Valkyria to become second Intercontinental Champion in history. The same Lyra Valkyria that earlier in the match kicked out of a super manhandle slam from the second rope. So she kicked out of that, but that roll-up was too much for her.
Well, then we had the men's ladder match. Rollins won, of course, with the Fireball whiskey ladder. The Bronze tried to help Rollins, and then Fatu and Cobb came out for Solo to help him. And Breaker speared Cobb through the barricade. Fatu Samoan dropped Reed, which was real awesome. And then he sent him over the announce desk, which, of course, as we all know, that
The kryptonite.
And then Solo, he's on the floor. Fatu pulls him up, rolls him back in the ring. Fatu standing guard, making sure nobody gets to Solo. So Solo, he picks out a ladder. No, not that one. He picks out another ladder. No, not that one. That one. And they set it up, and Fatu, he's watching Solo's back, and Solo reaches up for the briefcase, and Fatu looks up, grabs Solo's ankle. Solo can't quite get the briefcase, and he looks down, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Fatu looks up, he goes, I hate you! And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of Solo, and he rock bottomed him through a ladder. LA Knight put up a fight, but Rollins ultimately got the briefcase.
Much to the surprise of, well, I guess you can understand, especially watching Raw and SmackDown, that they're really building around Seth Rollins having the briefcase. I just thought that, one, LA Knight was going to win, but two, I thought that Punk or Roman or Sammy,
Somebody.
or maybe all three of them, yes, I thought someone was going to stop Rollins from getting the briefcase. But no, he was up there and he got it. Off of the Fireball whiskey ladder, of course.
I'm just astonished that Punk, at the end of Raw, he took out Rollins, and he was nowhere to be seen on SmackDown or Money in the Bank.
Yes.
And he said that Rollins will be champion over his dead body. So he didn't even try to prevent him from getting the briefcase.
Well, maybe he's holding off for a different time. Maybe he's holding off for the cash in.
I think creative sucks.
Well, there's that too. But I don't know. Maybe Rollins fails at the cash in, or maybe he doesn't.
What do you think about the Solo Fatu turn?
I didn't like it. Only for the reason because I thought we were going to get more between the two groups, the power struggle.
Okay.
And mainly some kind of Fatu and Breaker match of sorts.
I thought it was
Or at
our
least-
War Games.
Yeah, it could have been War Games, but they dropped it. Fatu's out, flourishing on his own. I'm sure he'll do fine. I just wanted more out of the Breaker Fatu. I'm telling you, that's like, I'll say by WrestleMania, like 40, is around 42, probably by WrestleMania 44, that's going to be your WrestleMania. And then probably at WrestleMania 45 and WrestleMania 46. That's your next, like, multiple WrestleMania headline matches. And I'm talking about night 2, not night 1. The real main event.
I guess it depends on Fatu, because I don't think he's a young man.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Forgot about that. He's in his 40s. Oh, no. He's actually in his 30s.
I think he's
He
late
just looks like
30s.
he's yeah, he just looks like he's 40. He's all gas, no brakes, after all. You know, he wasn't living a non-hard life, being in and out of prison. And yes, he's lived his life, and it's taken its toll on him. But yeah, he's in his 30s. I mean, you got AJ Styles is like 46, so he can keep going for a while.
I am interested in that Jacob Fatu Jeff Cobb match, even though Cobb's a geek now.
I did see a report that said, and it's a very important role, that Bronson Reed is in Seth Rollins' group to take the pins. That's why he's in the group. And they said that in that article. It's a very important role for him to be able to take those pins, to be a loser.
Bronson Reed, the monster.
Yeah. Because they got to protect Rollins and they got to protect Breaker since he's the future. So, yeah, Bronson Reed's there so he can eat them L's. He's going to eat them up like Pac-Man, like Tama Tonga. Like, oh, we know who's taking the pin in this match.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's a tag match between Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Oh, okay. Don't even have to know who they're facing.
Like, just write it down. Tama Tonga got pinned. But yeah, that's the report. He's out there to eat them L's.
Good for him, I guess. Well, then they did their WrestleMania announcement. It is indeed in Vegas. I thought it was lazy. If I was New Orleans, I'd really sit down and look at the books to see how much revenue the WWE brings to New Orleans.
Well, I mean, we got reports that it was going to happen going back to Las Vegas. My thing is, from the reports that I heard, they were still trying to finalize the deal. And, they just had to get the ducks in order. They wanted to get back to the same venue they were at last year before they made the announcement. So they pulled out of New Orleans without a plan. You would think if they pulled out, especially of a WrestleMania, they had the plan in place. And it's like, we got this venue. We'll make it up to you. You get Money in the Bank next year, right? But from the sound of things, they pulled out without the plan. They just knew they were pulling out. That's all they knew at the time.
Right.
But yeah, we're going back to Vegas. Well, we won't. I'll go ahead and tell you now, we're not going to go. Unless we get like a sponsor that pays us to go out there. Seeing this WWE squeezing sponsorships out of every fucking thing they can, I was like, we need to get some sponsors around here. I can wear like a sponsored hat, put sponsors on each segment, sponsor our audience. You can even have my name. Just now I've given WWE an idea. They're going to start sponsoring the freaking wrestlers' names. Like, oh, Seth State Farm Rollins. Now, I got this idea off of a commercial.
Oh, they do that with the moves. It's the State Farm driver.
Yeah. Oh, he's lining up for the Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15 minutes or more. Yeah, they're just going to get everything they can.
Well, finally, we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena. The good guys won, of course. Now, there was a masked man that attacked Cena, the heel, that gave Cody the opportunity to win. Highlight was Logan Paul line salting Jey Uso through the announce desk.
Boy, did he. He like almost flew into the first row. He got so much distance on that.
I did do some digging. The masked man that attacked Cena was Ron Killings.
Oh my! Who's that?
Some dude from TNA. So looks like R-Truth's getting a fresh coat of paint.
Yes. I'm concerned about it. I think they misunderstood what we were going after there. We just wanted him back, not like a serious...
I don't know if they're changing his name, if they make him more rugged, maybe more urban, and less of a clown. I can get behind that.
Yeah, well, it does look like he will not be a clown. At least from that.
Well, Cena's a pussy now, so that's not a good barometer.
Well, I mean, like, what are we building to here? Is he going to be the one that saves wrestling? He attacks Cena, so, like, is he going to actually... Because the last time he didn't get a title match, so is he actually going to get a title match?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Is he equal to Cena now? That's what I'm getting at. Are they, like, pushing him to, like, the moon now?
I don't know if they're pushing him to the moon, but they might push him to a match against Cena, a title match. And I don't know if he's a little bit more serious. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, they're definitely going, from the looks of things, they're going the serious route with him, which is good.
We'll just have to wait and see. The 1 second he starts talking about little Jimmy, because that's the last time we saw him, he was talking to little Jimmy. And then he got his ass kicked by Cobb.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was Money in the Bank. So we have Rollins one step closer to ultimate power, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Got Fatu fucking over Solo. Bloodline's officially dead now. And who's
Yeah.
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa going to side with?
Well, I'm going to assume Solo. Yeah, Fatu is going to be on his solo babyface run. So now he's going to go up against, because they're still teasing the Damian Priest thing. So is he going to go up against Priest and we're going to get face versus face now?
I don't know. Unless he's a tweener. Although they both kind of are, so that's still weird. I don't know. They just might have a good match.
Yeah. But we'll see where it goes. Now, as far as Rollins winning Money in the Bank, as I was talking about earlier, remember now they announced that title match for Jey Uso way in advance. And now
With
on
Gunther?
Monday, yes. And now on Monday, he has his title match. So I believe, fingers are pointing at Seth Rollins cashing in on Monday.
I would.
Now, is he successful? That's another question. That's what I said. Maybe that's where CM Punk cost him, but I think he's going to cash in on Monday.
I would hope so, because if Jey Uso beats Gunther again.
Well, you have some people predict that Seth Rollins is going to. So Gunther's going to beat Jey Uso, and then transitionally, Seth Rollins is going to cash in on Gunther.
No, what needs to happen is Gunther needs to go over the barricade or the announce desk or whatever the fuck. And Rollins needs to curb stomp Uso and pin him and run away with his title. Gunther has suffered enough.
Yeah, I don't like the taking another pinfall thing, but I don't know. I do think we're going to get a cash in of sorts. Again, maybe CM Punk costs the cash in because I did keep pointing it out. 75% of the time, the cash in is successful, and 100% of the time on the women's side. So, is this the year that the woman fails? Which would then kind of do Naomi dirty. But
wouldn't it be funny if he cashes in on Dominic just to fuck with everybody?
Seth Rollins?
Yeah. I got the power now.